Are you looking to improve your Amazon PPC performance and do not know where to start digging? In this video, I will show you how to analyze the most important report on Amazon, which is the Amazon Advertising Search Term Report. So you can find valuable insights that will allow you to make decisions in your Amazon advertising. So if you want to lower your ACoS and improve your ROI, stay tuned. I'm Rick Wong, an Amazon seller and also the marketing manager here at LandingCube. If you're interested in content such as this, where we geek out on anything Amazon, I invite you to subscribe. Okay, so I've been selling on Amazon for almost a decade now, and Amazon has evolved a lot. So have the number of reports that is available on Seller Central. But I still find the Amazon Advertising Search Term Report still to be the most important and also the most insightful report for an Amazon seller. Because this report is really not just about number of stats, it's also about understanding your customer journey, like right from the first customer search. So for example, if I see a lot of sales are coming from product pages instead of customer searches, then the customer journey might normally be from browsing and discovering. And that's like one of the many insights that you can actually pick up from this particular report. Okay, so now that you kind of understand the importance of this report, let's get into it. So let's start off with what's search term. So basically what search term is basically if you actually go to the Amazon website and you actually go to like this result bar, and it's any customer searches. So I would say baby swaddle, right? Or yes. So this phrase itself is the actual search term. Basically whatever particular phrase that I entered into the search bar right here, that would be considered like a customer search term. Or in the advertising report, the actual report itself is also called query, right? So you can see like this is a very important info. Basically, it's a first data point of how the customer on Amazon searches for your product, right? So that is very important. So this gives you an idea where to allocate your ad spend or what type of marketing campaign that you should really run. Right, so that is like the importance of finding out your customer search term information. There is a lot of people say keywords and a lot of people say search term. A lot of people use it interchangeably, but actually it's like very, very different, right? So on the keyword side, it's basically more on the seller and advertising side. Right, it's basically approximate gauge of what is actually the customer is searching for. And it's not equal to keyword, right? When I say approximate of what the customer is searching for, because as you know, on Amazon advertising, right, there is different match types as well, right? So there is like the broad, phrase, and exact. So I'm not going to go to details as to what they are, right? But your keyword and customer search term it could be different, and your keyword would sometimes trigger a certain search term, right? If it matches between your keyword on the seller advertising side and also the customer search on the actual search bar over here. So for example, in my particular example you see here, in infant optics, right? So this is a phrase match. And what can actually trigger this particular keyword is multiple search terms, right? So it could be infant optics mount, right? That could trigger it because that is part of the phrase match. So you can see like the keywords, my keywords with this phrase match does not actually match up with the exact search term right here, right? Because it's not an exact match. So it's only like it's a phrase match, right? So basically any part of infant optics that is part of like the search term will get triggered for this particular keyword right here. The only time where the keyword and search term are exactly the same is when you do like an exact match for a keyword. Then again, still like, not exactly matched because I think Amazon matches the plurals the same. So let's just say infant optic and infant optics as exact match. Your infant optic keywords will appear for both, right? So it doesn't really take plural into consideration. Okay, so just to to be more clear of why keywords and search term are not equal. So you can see like this particular grid right here. You could see that for broad, right? So let's just say these are the particular customer search terms, right? And this is the probably keyword and also the match type, right? And these particular search terms will trigger these keywords, right? these keywords for baby towel. So baby hood towels. So for broad match, it doesn't have to have like a baby towel phrase in it. So basically anything that Amazon deemed is relatable to this particular keyword will show up for. In phrase match, the actual baby towel needs to be within the phrase. So it will show up for this and won't show up for the ones that doesn't have this particular phrase in it. Exact. So basically it will have to show exactly as a baby towel or baby towel plural, right? Or baby's towel, right? Basically, it would include anything that is misspelling or probably singulars and plural. So they all bunch up together. Yeah, so even exact place, it might not equal to customer search term. Okay, so why is the search term very important for Amazon PPC? So basically what the search term does, again, it's an information on your customer journey, first customer journey. And these are the exact customer searches where you can actually make the decision whether you want to place money on a certain customer journey as in the customer search term, right? So if you see that a particular search term is not doing well for you, you could basically make sure that you don't allocate any ad spend to that particular search term, right? Or if that search term does well for you, you could allocate a lot more money to it via, say, adding the search term as a keyword in your campaign right here, or create a new campaign around that particular search term, right? So there's a lot of decisions that you could make using the Amazon search term report. Okay, so how do you run the Amazon search term report? So to run the Amazon search term report, you basically will go to Seller Central, and under Seller Central, you would go to your advertising subnav, and then you're gonna hit on Campaign Manager. So once you're on Campaign Manager, you'll see the screen right here. And to run the report, you will go to Sponsored Ads Report. And then under Sponsored Ads Report, you will say Create Report. And then there's different category types. So would be products, brands, and sponsored display. So in terms of search term report, you could only create the search term report for sponsored products and sponsored brands. So in terms of creating the report for both ad types, it's basically the same. So for sponsored product, on the reporting type, you're going to select search term, and then you can select the time period. So I like to extend the time period as far as I can, which I believe for this report would be 90 days, I think. Yeah. No, it would be like it would be 60 days actually, right? So my first date, it would be March 27th, and last would be the 31st, which is today. And then if you don't know this, you could actually schedule this on an ongoing basis. So let's just say I want to run this report every single week or every single month. I could have it reoccur, right, on a monthly basis and send it to a certain email. It's a great way for you to kind of collect the search term information because, as you know, the reporting period here can only go up to 60 days. And to collect this information is gold, right? Basically, let's just say you want to revise, basically relaunch the product, and you want to just get additional information in the past, right? For the campaign that is like maybe done last year, maybe something changed in your optimization where that keyword is no longer converting, and maybe you want to bring that keyword data out and see, you want to retest that keyword again. That's one way that saving previous data will have like a positive impact in your current PPC. And having data, right, to make informed decision, right, having the most data is always a positive. It's never a negative. So, make use of that recurring function on your search term report. Okay, so once the actual report is run, you'll just more or less download it, right? And I already pre-downloaded, and the actual report will more or less look like this, right? It looks very weedy, it looks a lot to take in, but I'm going to show you exactly how we could actually use it. So there's really 4 ways where we could use it. Number 1, use it to add new search term queries, right? The search term data, right, in your Amazon advertising. So that would mean, finding good search term that converted and add it into your current campaign. Number 2, finding negative search terms. So those are the ones that are not doing well, and you don't want to allocate any budget towards it. Number 3, finding candidates for your single keyword campaign. So I also have a specific video that talks about single keyword campaign, and I will just link that below, right? And tell you how to select your single keyword keyword for your single keyword campaign and why you should do a single keyword campaign. And also the data that you glean from this report, you could use it for your off Amazon advertising, specifically for Google ads. And I also create a video on that. I'll also link that below. Okay, so first off, let's figure out what are the search terms that are driving sales for us, right? So for these ones, we want to say two things. They make significant sales for us, and number two, their underlying metrics are better than our average. So let's look into our averages. So let's just insert a row here, and then let's do like the sum total. Hold on, like a subtotal, yeah, subtotal, and then I'm gonna put 9. So this particular formula allows the actual formula to update the actual subtotal based on the filters. Okay, so what are the key stats, right? If you want to rank on Amazon, there's basically two stats that really matter. Number one, that is conversion rate, and that number two, that is click-through rate, right? And obviously ACoS is important, but when you want to rank on Amazon, those two metrics matter. So let's just look at our baseline conversion rate, and then just look at our baseline CTR, and then let's look at our ACoS as well, right? Baseline ACoS. So that would be total number of orders. That would be here, right? So number of orders. So our baseline for the account is this divided by number of clicks. So it seems like to be like 13%. And then the click-through rate. So that would be the number of clicks divided by the impressions. In ACoS, obviously that would be spend over sales. And these are our baseline stats. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna make sure that we have our baseline stats handy. Okay, so let's find the search term that are doing well for us. So if I want to filter it, so basically it would be anything that had made one sale. And let's filter it by the number of sales. So I also want to, so in this particular situation, I want to look at keywords that I haven't actually had in my Amazon PPC campaigns yet. So what I would do in this situation is that I would remove the exact filter here, so I could look at only broad and phrase matches. So you're looking at the data here. So you see like the baby monitor corner mounts. You can see the actual ACoS. ACoS is lower than the average. You could see that conversion rate. So the conversion rate for this, the CTR for this is 30%, much higher than the CTR of the average. So let's just say conversion rate. Conversion rate is like 50%, right? So it's a lot higher than the conversion rate of like the baseline. So this is like a really good customer search term. I wonder have I actually added. So these are decisions I make. So I made 8 sales, pretty significant. And let's just look at this one. Baby mounts, corner self mount. Yeah, so basically any of these seems to be making decent sales for me. So if I want to filter for just search terms, I would just remove this particular filter right here. And then, yeah, so these are search terms that seems to actually convert to, for me, like really well. So you could also remove the ones that only made one conversion. So maybe like one conversion is not that significant. And you can see like the leftover results. There's like around like 4 search terms that have made a conversion for me for the last 60 days. These are the ones that I would be very confident in adding as a new keyword in my existing campaigns to basically further just scale out my Amazon advertising. So the cycle repeats. You add new keywords as broad and phrase, and they would also continue to search and mine for new keywords. And then while the exact match basically allows you to kind of laser focus on these particular search term that does well for you. Oh, okay, so these are already added. So basically I've already mined these search term into my existing campaign. So there's nothing to do here. But yeah, so this is basically the first thing that you can do with your search term report. So the next thing that you could do for your search term report is find customer search term that doesn't do well for you. In this instance, so anything that has 0 sales, that has significant number of clicks in it. So let me select everything. Number of clicks, I would say anything that has like around like maybe 8 clicks with 0 sales. So you can see like these are the search terms, right? And also these are like the product targeting ASINs that are not doing well. So you want to make sure that you add this into your existing campaign. So for example, newborn essentials. Yeah, I probably want to like add that in the source campaign, and but also want to add that in the other campaigns as well, right? So if I were to like manually add that to each of these campaign one by one, it's very labor intensive. Later, I will show you a much better way to do this. So just stay tuned. And yeah, so let's just say for this one, I know that's not doing well, so I would add it as a negative targeting with the other keywords that are not performing well for me, either zero sales or high ACOS. Okay, so that's the second way of how can you use a search term report. So now, number 3, we are going to find keywords for our single keyword campaign. So you can see, I think first of all, we're gonna sort by order. So if you do a single keyword campaign, you will need a look for a search term that does significant sales for you, right? There's no point for a keyword that only makes like 1 or 2 sales. So it has to be one that, I would say 10 or above. So I would say this particular one right here is a good candidate, right? You can see, but the thing is like the conversion rate is like lower than average and it's got higher than average ACOS, right? So maybe not, this is not a good idea. But the second one on the other hand, right, seem like to be a potential candidate, a hello baby monitor mount, right? So you can see all the stats right here. Maybe the order is not as high as I want, but you can see like the conversion rate is 19 versus the account average of 13.79. So for a single keyword campaign, I would really consider this one to be the one that I use a single keyword campaign for. So that's another way of me using the search term report. Lastly, this particular report that allows, if actually you're running an off Amazon advertising campaign for Google from Google AdWords, right? The data that you glean from this report can be used for AdWord report because Google AdWords is also a keyword bidding type of platform. Again, it's not 100% of the time that it's accurate, but you could kind of bet that the customer that searched around the same search term on Amazon for your product will also make very similar searches on Google Ads, or at the very least, you're not starting from zero. So this is also another way that I would use the search term report. If you actually want to see how I actually set up a Google AdWord account campaign to be launched and advertised for an Amazon product, check out the video. I also link that below. So basically, those are the key 4 ways for you to use your search term reports. The other ways to use the search term report is also that you could use the data in here to optimize your listings, right? So if you actually go to your listing, you could also make sure the keyword that converted, right? For example, baby monitor mount or hello baby mount. These particular keywords or words are included in your back end. So that would be under keyword, that would be here. So I'll just make sure that the word hello is also there as well. And then you could also make sure that your title is optimized. So maybe baby monitor might not be the best. It could be maybe I want to go for, in this case, corner camera mount or corner shelf baby mount. If that's the key search term that I'm aiming for, I maybe want to change that in my titles here, vital info. Yeah, so basically you like changed it. So based on your information search term report, you could potentially improve on the title SEO here, and then just save it. And not only this data improves your Amazon advertising performance, but you could also use it to improve your SEO as well. Okay, lastly, all this that I just showed you with the search term report is actually quite labor intensive. So what I like to use is a software called SellerMetrics. Basically, SellerMetrics is Amazon PPC advertising software that allows you to streamline a lot of these like optimization tasks that you need to do, right? What I just described right here with the search term report is quite labor intensive because not only that you have to pull the sponsored product search term report, but you also have to pull the sponsored brand as well. So with the SellerMetrics, it basically consolidates all your data for you and place it right in your fingertips, right? So in this case, I've connected my SellerMetrics to my Amazon advertising account. And if I go to analytics search term, and if I want to add, so let's just say like a particular key search term performed for me, right? For example, this one does really well. I can just like click on this button right here, add this search term and place it as a keyword in my destination campaign. So I could also place it into like multiple destination campaign as well, right? So let's just say I want to place it into my sponsored products, and then later I want to place it into my sponsored brand video keyword campaign, I could easily do that with a few clicks of a button. All right, so let's just say I want 1.25 and 8. Voila, it's all created for me, quick and easy. So it's also the same for negative as well. So let's just, I look into this, right? And let's just say like this filter for anything that has like 0 sales, but you know, at least 7 clicks. Okay, so these ones right here, so 7 clicks, no orders. So this one I potentially want to add as a negative, so I could add it as a negative very easily. And I could actually place this particular negative, right, not only on the actual campaign that's sourced from, but also within the entire, in all your campaigns if you want, right? Basically on my keyword campaign, I probably want to add that as my negative. So as a keyword, so match type, add. And another thing I could do, that I talked about that we could do in with the search term report is also a single keyword campaign. So let's actually do like a custom like a preset filter. So anything that is a high performing search term, right? Let's like filter for that. Okay, nothing under 25% ACoS. So let's just up that a little bit to like maybe 35. Okay, so you see here some of the search term that converted for me. It seems like this one does pretty well. I think this might be the one that I talked about earlier. So I could actually easily create a single keyword campaign around this, right, with just one click of a button. I'm not going to do it in this situation, but as you can see, I could actually create a single keyword within SellerMetrics with just a few clicks, and it's all done, right? So it's much easier than if I have to do it manually in the actual Amazon advertising console. Okay, so I hope that this video have been very insightful. I hope that it helps you thinking of how you could actually leverage this report, the Amazon search term report, to improve not only your Amazon PPC, but also SEO as well. Lastly, if you are looking to grow your business and also audience off Amazon traffic, check out LandingCube. We are an Amazon selling specific landing page building software that allows you to collect emails and monitor your off Amazon traffic, such as Google, Facebook, and Reddit ads. Sign up now for a 21-day trial in the link below. Until the next video drop, happy selling.